Rushy came into the game with an interesting trap sound with the song Trippity Trap. Now the question is, with his debut project out, how far can he push that sound and what can he achieve? Rushy, Stress 3. So Rushy kind of came into the scene with Trippity Trap, which is basically a good introduction to his sound, which is kind of, in terms of the melodies he picks and has within his sound, an obscure trap sound where he has kind of a bouncy flow, a bouncy, jumpy flow to go along with it. He is part of a collective called Straight 3, and one of the members of Straight 3, Romy Joe, also features on this project. And I feel like this project for him is just going to be about solidifying his sound, exposing fans to it a bit more, and basically showing people what this sound could achieve. If this tape isn't quite for you, please feel free to check out any of my other reviews that I also do on this channel. Like and subscribe if anything that I do interests you at all, or if you're just interested in this video at all. So the kind of jumpy, bouncy flows that he has with the 808 drum patterns that kind of replicate this idea, it does suit him really well and it does work for him quite a lot on this project. For example, with the intro track and Streets Again. In terms of pockets inside the beat, he does pick his pockets quite well on these tracks, but I do feel that even in terms of the sound, there's some things that I feel just sonically could use refining, and looking at the song Streets Again in particular. Streets Again has got that really cool harp player over the top, and then it's kind of got the bass line underneath, and then I kind of just felt, well, there's nothing else really to it. Whilst intro, I really do like the beat in comparison, because I feel like it's a lot more atmospheric. In terms of the layering on it, it brings that whole vibe that is a core part of his sound a lot better than it does on this. I just feel like it's just missing. I feel like there's a whole lot of space within the track that Rushy doesn't quite fill with his flow and with his vocal performance. I do feel I have a bit of control, like a bit of a problem with kind of where the harp is in terms of on the score. I just feel like in terms of where it was placed on the beat, it could have been better. And I feel like it just felt weirdly out of place with the drum pattern itself, and maybe kind of shifting where exactly in terms of the structure of the melody, how that worked, it would have felt slightly better for me. And that would have helped without having to add an extra layer underneath. But I still think maybe a violin underneath it or something like that, just to give it a little bit more atmosphere to it, would have helped. I do feel Freeway kind of felt very similar to Trippity Trap, but at this point, because you're trying to expose more people to your sound and you're trying to essentially try and develop your sound a bit more and basically just get more people to hear your sound on a body of work, it's okay to kind of replicate some of what you did previously, because that's kind of what your fans want right now. And in a way, that's okay. And because this project isn't very long and you haven't done this very much, I have no problem with it. The flow that KO came out with it, though, it really surprised me, and I actually liked it. KO is one of my favorite drill rappers. I do feel like he kind of mixed up with the flows, and I feel like as far as pen game goes, he has one of the best pen games in drill at the moment in terms of the generation that we currently have. I do feel like Rushy doesn't really have the greatest pen, whilst the flows very much are on point. I feel like it's quite cliche, some of the lyrics he comes up with. For example, blowing up like the Taliban, I'm at the door like the pizza man. It's like, you've kind of heard these before, and I don't think like they're delivered in a particularly brilliant way on the lines themselves. Whilst the flows are good and the delivery itself is quite sharp, you need to find a way in which you can just deliver the same line with the same idea in the punchline, just in a more creative way. Otherwise, it kind of just seems a bit cliche and stale. Now, in terms of where Rushy shines on this tape is when he's with the other two members of Straight 3. The songs with Lano and Romy Joe, they're my favourite ones. Harder with Lano, it's a kind of bouncy one, but I really do kind of like the kind of mysterious vibe of the melody. It's kind of weird and kind of eerie in a way. It's like one of those sound effects you get in like a horror movie in like the suspense part. So it's kind of getting kind of all spooky. I do get that sort of feel to it, and I do like how it's a development in his sound and playing around with different melodies on usual trap style beats, where usually it's just a random piano melody thrown over the top with some synth sound effects. Rushy switches up the flow here as well, and I do feel like the variety in the beats in this half of the tape, it means Rushy can kind of try different things. It's not just the same flow that we've had from Trippity Trap. And even then, like I said, having similar flows is not a problem at the moment because you're just trying to showcase more of you and what you're about. But I was actually really happy with Rush's verse on this and his contributions to this track. I really do like the singing vocal stabs underneath Lano's rap verse. I think that's a really great touch and it really works well for him, and it's very complementary to the instrumental itself. So I do think Lano does a really good job here as well. But the tag team of Rushy and Romy Joe is ridiculous. Genuinely insane, and I just want to hear more of it in future. If anything, it makes me want to hear just a straight 3 song or even a straight 3 tape, just seeing what the 3 of these guys can cook up with whatever instrumentals they want to try and explore and whatever sounds they want to try and explore, because they really gel really well together. Big Vibe is my favorite song on the whole thing, and Big Vibe really is a big vibe. Like, it really is a big vibe. Romy Joe is great on the hook. I think the singing and his vocal performance on this is really good, and I really liked it. This is also my favorite beat on the tape. That saxophone melody underneath the keys over the top. Ooh, that is beautiful. That is just fucking beautiful. I really do like the outro of this song with the kind of chopped and screwed vocals that come from Romy Joe at the end. I really do like that. It's a really nice touch and a really nice way to round out not only the track, but the whole project in of itself. Overall, I'm going to go C/C+. I think I'm going to go C+. I felt like I really enjoyed it, but I just felt like there is developments in his sound that could happen in some of the songs. I felt like sometimes some of the tracks just didn't have quite enough to them in terms of the actual instrumentals. Sometimes I feel that Rushy is a great songwriter, but as a lyricist, it's nothing that special, and I feel like it would be interesting to see him have a bit more of a song concept in mind when coming into these things, because I feel like he's going more of a sonic feeling rather than an idea with some of these tracks. I do really feel like I like what I'm vocally hearing most of the time, especially in terms of flows from Rushy, and I think Romy Joe is a huge addition to this project, and I think Rushy and Romy Joe work really well together as well as Lano, and I'd like to hear something with all 3 of them on it. So it kind of makes me really excited for the future of Straight 3 as well as just Rushy. If there is actually something coming down the line as a Straight 3 project or a Straight 3 song, someone direct me, someone let me know, because yeah, I would give this a C+ because it kind of makes me excited for the future of his music. And if that was his aim in terms of getting us hooked onto his sound and getting us excited for future stuff, he definitely succeeded for me. So, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Like and subscribe if you like any of the other stuff I've got cooking. The Big Rant series, small rants, quick rants on Instagram, and then I've also got Free Yourself from Suffering and some other stuff that I'm going to be whipping up. Let me know if there's any requests that you guys have or anything else I should cover. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.